We've all heard what we now consider the basics. Lack of sleep puts you in a bad mood, makes you think slower, could have long-term side effects. But do we really sort of look at that in sort of a day-to-day basis, and how quickly and detrimental that effect could be? Even back in 1945, Joseph Pilates wrote in his book Return to Life Through Controlology about the benefits of sleep and the benefits that exercises could do around sleep. He stated that, so if your sleep is disturbed, rise immediately and perform your exercises. It is far better to be tired from physical exertion than to be fatigued by the poisons generated by nervousness while lying awake. Particularly beneficial in this regard are spinal rolling and unrolling massage exercises, which relax the nerves and induce a sound, restful sleep. So join me now to go through a few rolling exercises that would be great to tackle your restless sleep, or even to set you into a good mood on just falling to sleep nice and smoothly. So just starting off with breathing, hands placing on the thoracic and filling up the whole trunk from pelvis all the way up into the collarbones. Just starting to get those ribs to move. Obviously not trying to overdo it. We don't want to sort of really pump ourselves through oxygen, but having a good sort of open rib cage is going to help start the movement. So after breathing, as we move on into our little pelvic imprints, just as you breathe out, let that tailbone just roll in between the legs and find that the lumbar spine just starts to open up and gently kiss the mat or the bed underneath you. Especially in this position, unless there's so much more, don't try and overwork it. Nice gentle rock backwards and forwards, getting a little bit of feedback from the back of the heels just to help with that roll back. And a gentle reach out, nice and long. Taking that imprint now into a pelvic curl, gently just rolling the spine off the bed or the mat. Working at hanging the vertebrae down one by one as you come back down into that long neutral position. Good, and just being wary that you don't sort of push too high in the pelvis, letting that rib cage hang as well. Keeping feet and knees together, rolling over from the spine to take yourself into a spine twist. Feeling like the center of movement is the spinal column itself, and that the legs and hips are just an indicator of the rotation that comes from the spine. From there we move into a knee hug. So starting that leg out nice and long, dragging it back in, floating the leg up to the tabletop position, then giving it a little bit of a squeeze, opening up the back of the pelvis. But also finding, if you are tight, a stretch through that lumbar, the QL muscles, and your back erectors. Nice and gently. From there, both legs come up to tabletop, hand on each knee, using the pressure of your arms to press your thigh bones back down into your pelvis as you just roll your knees into opposing circles from each other. Being gentle with the movement, finding a deep centering, and give yourself the licenses as you pull back towards your chest to let that pelvis lift slightly into an imprint to open up the back and the spine again. Moving into floor frogs, feet stay across the ground, dragging in nice and heavily towards the buttocks. From there you're pulling those knees right up to the chest And once again, giving yourself the license to just gently deepen the lower abdominals, just to find a little bit of opening in through the back of the pelvis. Sitting up now for spine stretch, rolling yourself forward, deepening the belly to support that low back. Not being too focused on trying to take your hands too far towards your feet, but more enjoying the raveling and then the unraveling of that spinal column. So finally, our last exercise for the night, just some roll downs off the wall. Breathing out, deepening the abs, finding that you're trying to articulate each spine off one by one, enjoying the unraveling of the spine and then the raveling back up. Preparing yourself for a lovely, unraveled and restful sleep.